In this lesson, we're going to go over adjectives and adverbs. Let's jump right in. Adjectives and articles, because articles are a type of adjective, are words that modify nouns. They change the noun in some way. Adjectives can appear in two different places in a sentence. They can appear next to the noun, in front of the noun, or they can appear in the predicate portion of the sentence towards the end when a linking verb is used. Let's look up here though. When we run into these nouns, crab and sea, sometimes we have adjectives in front of them giving us a little bit more information about what kind of a noun we're dealing with. We have the noun crab. What kind of a crab? The inflatable crab. The adjective inflatable modifies crab. Stormy is another adjective, modifies the noun sea. Just like these articles, the, a, and an have to be modifying nouns as well. In this example, the is also modifying crab, and the is modifying sea. In this sentence here, I read a wonderful book about 3 monkeys living in a tiny jungle. We have a few nouns to work with: book, monkeys, and jungle. Not all nouns you're going to run into in your sentences are going to have adjectives, but many of them will. Let's look. And remember, they modify nouns and change the noun in some way to make it more specific. What kind of a book? A wonderful book. Wonderful is an adjective modifying book. How many monkeys? 3 monkeys. 3 changes our noun in some way. Tiny is also an adjective modifying jungle. Okay. Now let's look and see if we have any articles. Sure we do. We have a and another a. So remember, those articles also have to be modifying nouns. They tell you about a noun. A what? A book. A what? A jungle. All right. Those are more the common nouns you're going to run into, but sometimes when your sentences use a linking verb like is, am, was, were, and other linking verbs, you're going to have what's called a predicate adjective. And a predicate adjective is just an adjective that appears at the end of the sentence, towards the end of the sentence anyway. In these 2 examples, I have 2 linking verbs, smelled and was. And what those linking verbs do is they link the subject to a noun or an adjective that appears at the end of the sentence. In these sentences, it is linking the subject to an adjective. Terrible is an adjective describing shoes. It's just appearing over there. Brilliant is an adjective describing her. It's just appearing after the verb. So there are 2 places adjectives are going to be. They're going to be in front of the noun, or they're going to be in the predicate end of the sentence. We're going to get back to adjectives in a little bit, but let's do a quick adverb lesson. Adverbs are more complicated than adjectives, but just like adjectives, they have to modify things. Adverbs also modify other words. However, adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. Now remember, adjectives only modify nouns and pronouns. But adverbs can modify verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. Let's take a look. Adverbs tell how, where, when, and how much. Many of those adverbs are going to end in ly, but many are not going to, like not, never, very, so, really does end in ly. But those are common adverbs that you're going to run into quite often. Let's look at an adverb that modifies a verb. In this sentence, he quickly ate the pizza. Ate is your verb. Quickly is telling you how that pizza was eaten. All right? It is an adverb because adverbs tell you how a verb was completed. If an adverb modifies a verb, you'll be able to relocate that adverb, that word, to another spot in the sentence, which means If you find an adverb and you think it may modify a verb, the way to test it is see if you can move it around to different parts of the sentence. He ate the pizza quickly. That makes sense. Quickly modifies ate. It's just over there in the sentence. He quickly ate the pizza. Now I've just moved the adverb over here in front of the verb, and it still sounds okay. Let's look at this third example. Quickly, he ate the pizza. Sounds okay? Okay. All three of those instances are legitimate ways to use quickly in a sentence. Therefore, that adverb modifies a verb. Okay? However, if you cannot relocate that adverb, it must be modifying an adjective or another adverb. Let's take a look. I know this is a lot. We're going to go over some examples. He is very smart. Okay? We have a linking verb here. This is a verb. It's linking the subject to this adjective. Smart is modifying he. So we have an adjective smart. However, we have this word very. We have this word very right here. Very tells you how smart. So in this example, very is an adverb modifying an adjective. Okay? Let's look below. Can we move that word very? Can we move that adverb very to another part of the sentence? He is smart very. No. We can't move it. When we try to move that adverb very, it sounds stupid, pretty much. And therefore, we know it does not modify a verb. It must modify either an adjective or an adverb, and it does. I can't relocate that adverb. This adverb modifies this adjective, and it has to stay at that point in the sentence. The cheetah moved incredibly quickly. Here we have our verb moved. How did it move? Quickly. Okay. So we have an adverb quickly. It tells you how the cheetah moved. How quickly? Incredibly quickly. So we have an adverb, incredibly, modifying an adverb quickly. An adverb incredibly modifying an adverb quickly. So in this example, we have an adverb modifying another adverb, and that is perfectly fine. Happens quite often. Let's look at some examples. Let's look at some adverbs in sentences. Remember, adverbs tell how, where, when, and how much. All right. I suggest the first thing you do is find your simple subjects and your simple predicate, and you got to see what you're working with in your sentence. I'm going to isolate my prepositional phrase. I'm going to find my simple subject. I'm going to find my simple predicate. Now I have this verb slid. How did the car slide? It carelessly slid. This word here tells me how that verb was completed. If a word tells you how a verb was completed, it is an adverb. It answers the question how that verb was completed. The child was dreadfully frightened by the movie. We have our simple subject. Was frightened is our simple predicate. This is a helping verb. This is our main verb. We have this adverb dreadfully telling you how much this child was frightened. This is our adverb dreadfully. It tells you how much the child was frightened. So you have this word modifying a verb. It's an adverb. Answers the question how much. The boat floated downstream. Look it up. These adverbs can tell you where as well. Floated where? Downstream. This adverb, downstream, modifies this verb, floated. Yesterday we went to the beach with my cousin. When? Adverbs also answer the question when. We went yesterday. Yesterday modifies the verb went. It answers the question when something was completed, when a verb was completed. That person arrives late for every meeting. When do they arrive? Late. Late is an adverb modifying the verb arrives. It answers the question when a verb was completed, just like the last one. Here's another when. They had been on television before. Had been is our verb. When had they been? They've been before. Before is our adverb modifying our verb had been. It tells when they had been, and that's what adverbs can do. Our pockets were absolutely empty. How much were they empty? They were absolutely empty. Absolutely is an adverb modifying the adjective empty. It describes how empty the pockets were. But in this instance, it's modifying an adjective. Empty is an adjective and modifying pockets. So here we have an adverb modifying the adjective, empty. In this next sentence, we actually have two adverbs happening here. How tired? Really tired. Really is a word modifying an adjective tired, because tired modifies you. So this is an adjective modifying you, and really is modifying that adjective, which makes really an adverb. We also have this word today. Today you look really tired. Today is modifying the verb look. The lake is quite calm. How calm? Quite calm. Calm is an adjective. Quite is telling you about that adjective. So quite is an adverb there. It's really easy to mix up adverbs and prepositions, but if you remember this rule, you'll be fine. A preposition must be part of a prepositional phrase. It must be part of a prepositional phrase. If it looks like a prep, but it is not part of a prepositional phrase, it is an adverb. All right? You know the word down because we've been studying it as a preposition. Someone fell down the steps. That is in a prepositional phrase, right? However, we have this word down here, and it is not part of a prepositional phrase. It tells where the portrait fell. So this down is actually an adverb there, whereas this down is a prep. Tiles on our bathroom came up, right? We have this word up, which usually it would be at the beginning of a prepositional phrase. However, this up is not in a prepositional phrase. So this preposition, or this word that normally looks like a preposition, is actually behaving like an adverb in this sentence, whereas this up is behaving like a prep in that sentence. That's it.